Welcome back folks to another video. Let me tell you, I have forgotten how to YouTube, so this is gonna be a weird one. This is also going to be my first haul since over a year and I'm so excited. This time I have a bunch of manga with me and I want to talk about each and every thing that I bought and just get excited over books with you. And I have to say, like, not to everything I have to say something, like I can say something, because oftentimes I don't know that much about the things that I buy, because I rarely read synopsis. Like the back of the book is something I rarely look at. I feel like it spoils me, it gives me too much information and I'm then ending up not being interested in the story anymore. This happened to me quite a few times, so I try to stay away from back of books. I will just simply mention what I know or why I bought a book and then move on once I have nothing left to say about it. So the first one that I want to talk about, starting with manga, is Chainsaw Man Volume 2. You have seen me maybe talking about Chainsaw Man Volume 1, saying that I wasn't quite sure whether to continue the series. Starting off strong, because this is the closest that I will ever get to a regret purchase, I guess. Not ever, but like in this stack, because I am not sure if I actually want to own a copy of this. I probably should have went to the library instead of purchasing it, but I was just not thinking in a moment of buying it. It is a pretty regular manga so far, like shonen, except that it's a bit more edgy, which doesn't really appeal to me that much, since edginess isn't what drives my reading, it's the story, and since the story is pretty basic and mediocre, I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue this. But we'll see with the second part. Also, another series that I've quite often talked about on this channel, since I am reading it continuously since over a year now, is Tokyo Ghoul. I've bought the the following 3 volumes, which is 7, 8 and 9 if I am correct. And if I have read those, that means that I am finally past the halfway mark of the manga series. Oh my god. I know that there are, or at least I thought I knew, that there are 14 volumes out there, but then I went into the bookstore and I saw a volume with the number 16 on the back and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I thought this only had 14, but maybe that's like something special, some extra arcs or something. So I'll see when I get there, but for now I have 3 additional volumes that I can look forward to. And then I have a manga which I have only heard 2 things of. One, that it is extra gay. And 2, that it is very bizarre. And I am of course talking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Recently this was released on Netflix, not as a new release, but as a established anime, and now also available on Netflix. And people say that it's pretty unpredictable, like you never know what is going to happen. Also, people have told me that it's probably not going to be my type, especially not the anime. Especially the first season is said to be somewhat of a hard one to get through, but after that one it gets pretty addictive. I don't know for myself, like I know that I'm doing better with books than with series, so I thought like maybe give it a chance and see if I can actually enjoy it. Pretty excited. I don't know what to expect, to be honest. I know I'm in for a ride and I'm ready to buckle up. Then I have the master of horror. How can I do a manga haul without having a Junji Ito in my pile? This is Uzumaki, which I also know nothing about the story. I know it's in a city, I know there are spirals everywhere. It's also the subtitle is Spiral into Horror, and normally I am used to reading Junji Ito in the English version, and this is going to be my first time reading him in German. I have to say I don't like the cover. I don't know about you, this is a black cover with a black silhouette of a woman. I'm not sure if the English one is a spiral or a woman, but I remember it was colorful. So I mean, not colorful, it was like gray tones, but at least it was more colorful than this one. So I don't know, this is the only thing that I can say for now. Don't really like the cover so much. But hey, it's Uzumaki, and also a thing to notice. Can you see the relation to another manga character that at least I love? Yeah, I know, there's no real connection here, but I just had to point this out. This is why I was also looking forward to it. Random, I know. Anyways, then I have 3 volumes, the first 3 volumes of a manga, which I've only heard great things about, and that is Demon Slayer. I have Demon Slayer part 1, 2, and 3, and I have honestly to tell you that I am not a fan of the art style, but something strange happened. Like this book, this manga was laying around in my flat for the past 3 days, and somehow this art style grew on me. I somehow now find it endearing. It's the art style with the very childish features, like the very big eyes and the huge forehead and the round face with the sharp chin. I mean, all manga kind of has these features, but these, because of the roundedness of the faces, they look even more childish, and I guess it's fair because the characters are children. So it's somewhat actually suiting, but I normally prefer the more realistic type of manga characters, although they are not really realistic, they are just not as chubby. Anyways, this story is about this child, this boy, and his family got murdered by demons, and his sister, which is her, got turned into a demon, and now he's looking for a remedy, for something to save his sister, and I think that that is the story behind Demon Slayer. Also thinking about watching the anime of this one. And then I have Bungo Stray Dogs. Honestly, I have to admit with this one, I bought it because of the cover. I bought it because it was mainly black and white. I like black and white as a combination. I am a fan of minimalism in covers, although this is not really minimalistic. I recognize that Uzumaki is more minimalistic than this one is. Anyways, don't know anything about this. I know it's a mystery because it says so on the back of the title, like in a small box, and it's about detectives who have apparently a sort of screw loose, but I've never heard a single person talking about this, so I can't tell you what this is about. So I'll figure it out once I read it. Along the lines, I will figure out whether I want to continue or not. And then I've got the last one of the mangas to talk about, and that is Jujutsu Kaisen Zero. I am super excited for this one. Maybe you have heard that right now in the cinemas in Japan there's the anime movie version of the prequel to Jujutsu Kaisen, which is Jujutsu Kaisen Zero. And it is currently the top 10 most successful anime movie ever to be released in Japanese cinemas. It is ridiculous how much the series is loved, but I can see why actually, because I mean, I have watched the series and found it so fascinating that I bought the prequel, since I don't feel like I'm going to be able to watch the movie anytime soon. It's about a world in which curses can manifest themselves and kill people, and about Jujuists, I hope that this is the English way of saying it, Jujuists who are then fighting the curses. So a classic shonen story like good versus evil and a sort of chosen one arc. I like that type of shit, and also like quite lovely characters. And may I say it, I feel like I have a certain type in anime man. I can understand the appeal of Satoru Gojo. I mean, let's be real, Kakashi and Satoru Gojo are pretty similar, at least when it comes to looks. Like, exchange the eye thing that Satoru has with Kakashi's face mask, and come on, they are basically the same. Not at all. I mean, Satoru has much more mesmerizing eyes, I'll give him that, and they're also completely different in character. But from the looks, come on. I feel like there has been some inspiration here, but who knows, because you only have that many colors in a color palette, so coincidence or inspiration? We don't know. And now I'm moving on to the novels and the fiction and the non-fiction that I bought. So no more manga. If you made it through this without reading manga, congrats. Starting with the first one on my pile, which is Edgar Allan Poe's horror short stories. And I have said last year that although I am a fan of horror, I have never really read from the masters of the genre. And so I started to read H.P. Lovecraft, like short stories of H.P. Lovecraft. Last year I am somewhere in the middle, I got stuck, I don't know, and I want to try Edgar Allan Poe out now. I don't know if I'll have the same problems and issues with Edgar Allan Poe as I had with H.P. Lovecraft, which is mainly that it's just been done so much that you know the overall stories, like as if they are not new, as if what they are saying has been done before a million times, although they were the original idea givers, so to say. I don't know if I'll have the same feeling with Edgar, but we'll see. Then I have the book which made me initially go into the bookstore, and that is a thick boy. It is Hanya Yanagihara's To Paradise. I am so afraid to read this, like I am for sure intimidated. And also this is going to be my first time ever reading Hanya Yanagihara in English. Before that I have read Little Life and The People in the Trees in German, but this time I didn't want to do that because I know that the German versions always have more pages and I didn't want to torture myself more than I needed to. So I'm not gonna read that in the near future, I know that, because it's read all over BookTube right now. I'm seeing reviews left and right, and what a good thing about this is that the reviews are pretty mixed. I saw some 4 stars, I saw some 5 stars, I saw some 2 stars. So I like that, great. Gives me no clue whatsoever on whether I will like it or not, and I enjoy that. Then I have Matthew McConaughey's biography, Greenlights, which I picked up on a whim because it was short. Honestly, I don't watch that many movies. I have no real interest in actors, but somehow I've in my life watched more than one movie or series with Matthew McConaughey in it, which is in itself a miracle, and I've come to kind of like this guy. At least I feel like he is a great actor. And this is rather an unconventional biography, since it's not like his life from A to Z. It is more a bunch of collected poems, pictures, thoughts that he has at some point in his life written down and yeah, collected and put into this sort of biography, memoir type of book. Memoirs and biographies kind of never disappoint me in a way, because it's always life lessons that a person has learned, and either like I relate to it or I don't. But they are never written in a disappointing way, so to say. I think the last time I talked to you, I said that I'm easily bored. And the thing about biographies is that no life that a human has lived is ever the same. So the story is always different, even though like maybe having some similarities to other people's stories, but they're never quite the same. And this is what I appreciate about biographies, which is why I kind of find joy in reading them, and which is also why I picked up Crying in H-Marked. First of all, because of the title, I feel it's relatable. I have cried in public in multiple occasions, so I feel you. But also because it's a memoir from Michelle Zauner, which I have absolutely no clue who that is. But it's about her heart, her life, her grief, her endurance, her humor, her struggling, her experiences. Totally what I like to see in a memoir. I mean, obviously. But that's why I picked it up. No real like connection or anything to the book. This is like a perfect example on how a title just spoke to me and therefore I was interested. And then my last book, can't believe that I'm ending on this one, but my last book is by oh my god, this is dirty. Sorry. Jamel Brinkley, and I have to find the title because I have the German edition. This is A Lucky Man, as I said, by Jamel Brinkley. It is about black men and the black male role in society in the USA, and the black male identity. And when I came across this book, I kind of realized that I've never actually read anything about the male black perspective yet. I mean, I have read Concrete Rose, but that is one work of fiction. I've read a bunch of books about the female black perspective and anti-racism, or like on racism in general, but never really how the male black person in the USA is perceived, or is perceived by himself as well. So I am really eager to fill in those gaps and hopefully learn something along the way. That's it with the haul. Thank you so much for joining me. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Please don't spoil, but if you have any thoughts on any of the books, you have read it or you have seen people reading it, or whatever you want to share, I would be happy to read that. And for now, the only thing that is left to say for me is I'll see you at another time in another video. Bye!